Hello folks, LA Little here, TA today. And I got some feedback saying, hey, that retest regen using the swing points, kind of good. Let me see you actually show a retrace. So I put a feeler back out. I said, exactly, what are you looking for? This was on the last video I did yesterday. And so today I'm just going to take an example of a stock that's doing a retest regen. It's actually a pretty good stock, Trimble. If you want to look at it, take a look at it here with me, and I'll show you what I'm looking at. So the first thing is, if we come over here to the daily, right? And it's the weekly that we're going to look at the retest regen, but I want to show you the daily first. And the reason for that is because the daily had kind of broken down. And so you actually had, this swing point, right? You have this big wide price spread swing point here. And the daily got up underneath it and broke this one. Okay, so that's the break, and there's telling you this is the break right there. It's a suspect break to the downside. Okay, that's good enough. So what does that mean? Well, you actually broke in, and I actually didn't say this, but you actually broke this one too, right? So you broke both of these on this bar. So that sets up two retest regens on the way back up, and these are bearish. There's this one, and there's this one here. Okay, so what is it doing today? Well, Friday it popped around. Today it's actually pushing. It's right up to the top of it. Now, when you do a retest regen first time back, you're within 6 bars, you can expect that you're going to get about 2/3 push to a full push. And this one's doing a full push right now. And you got a strong market today. This is Monday. I'm doing this at looks like about 10 o'clock a.m. Pacific time. So, we're, 3 hours into the trading or so. And so, this is telling you that this stock is doing exactly what it should do. It's retesting, and it's going to try and regenerate to the downside. Now that's on the daily time frame. Let's go over and look at the weekly, because the daily operates inside the weekly. Now what's the weekly doing? Well, the weekly is actually coming back and doing a bullish retest regen against this swing point high. It's done it before. This was a test before. Is doing it again. This is the second time. And now that it's done that, right, it's showing you it's orange, which means the probability of this regenerating is not that great. Now it can, in matter of fact, right now it is regenerating, right? But remember, over here on the daily, we don't have an all clear signal yet because we haven't gotten back over that swing point lows retest regen. And I'll come back to the daily because there's something else important there as well. But anyway, going back to the weekly. So here's the push. You're coming back over it. And what were the tests? What could you look at to see what the test was? Well, here's the first test. Volume on that test was actually this bar. Let me do it again there so I can get it cleaned up. So the test was this bar here. That's the, right? And if you look at this test, that's that. So the volume across those two, slightly more volume when it hit. What did it also have? This was your breakout bar. That one actually had more volume. So you would want to see this come back with the hardest test, which is, in other words, to get back under the highest volume one, which is this one. And it didn't. What does it do? It bounces. And now it comes back and tries again. Well, on this test, here it gets underneath it on this particular test. And when we look at that one, right, get rid of these. Now that we come back and we're on this bar, what is it doing? Well, it has less volume again. Leads to another bounce. That's what you should expect, right? If you can't break it down, you're going to push the other side and test the other way. And that's what this thing is doing. Now, would I want to be buying this? Because right now, it's actually doing what you would want if you're bullish. Right, you had a nice long advance, a little bit of consolidation, nice long advance, and now you've just been kind of drifting to the downside. Is this kind of like done its thing and it's ready to go again? Because if you pull it over and you look at the monthly here, on the monthly chart, grab that one, bring it in. On the monthly chart, this looks pretty bullish, right? Again, you have this push up, pull back, push up, pull back, push up. You could get a deeper pullback, right? Because on the monthly, you're actually coming back in. It wasn't a swing point high, Your other swing point high is over here, but that one was wiped out. So this could come in deeper. So with all that context, going back here, here's the key part. This is a wide price spread high volume bar, right? High volume. It fits the high volume mold, right? Because it's like in the top 6 or so. And so that says that the range is probably from here, let me do it a little bit cleaner this way, you know, the top of this and the bottom of this. And we're about halfway in the middle. So do I want to buy this here? Probably not. You know, yeah, it can get up to here. And if it gets over this, it's certainly better. But this is not exactly where I would be wanting to buy. This is not the kind of setup that I want to put a bunch of money on. You know, unless you're just in love with the stock. The charts aren't telling you to buy it yet. Those are the retest regions. They're telling you that more than likely, you know, this thing is probably going to try and push back to the downside before this is over. Can it bounce more? Can it get up here? Yeah. If it proves that it can do it, if it proves it can get over this, well then yeah, it's going higher. That's this area right here. You know, if you get over this retest region, which is 81.5 basically, that says, yeah, the correction here is over. But right now, you just don't have it. That's kind of retest regen. That's an example where you're actually getting the regenerate, but you probably don't want to take that trade. I hope you like what you see. Give me a holler. Give me a shout out on the likes, and if you want specifics, just like I offered here to one of the comments, let me know what you're thinking, what you're wanting to see, and I'll help you out. Have a great one. See you next time. Take care.